No, it's on.
It's there.
Ready?
Yes.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Happy Tax Day. I hope you all finished your taxes or filed an extension. Lisa, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bowser,
Here.
Mr. Hostetler.
Here.
Mrs. McGraw. Here. Mrs. Pat.
Here.
And Mr. Sulik.
Here.
All right. We could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first order of business is to adopt the meeting agenda for this evening. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda? Had one so moved and Dan seconded. I'll toss it.
Thank you.
Laura moved. All right, any changes you guys see necessary? Okay. Lisa, could you call the roll?
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw. Yes. Mr. Sulik,
Yes.
Mrs. Pat,
Yes.
and Mr. Hostetler.
Yes. Okay, and next I'll open up for a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I see any changes that need to be made, or are we good?
Important.
All right. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw,
Yes.
Mr. Sulik,
Yes.
Mrs. Pat,
Yes.
and Mr. Hostetler.
I was absent, so I abstain. All right, let's move into district updates.
First off, thanks to everyone for showing up tonight. We'd love to see an audience. We don't often get one, so thank you for showing up tonight. Our district spotlight is on Coventry Middle School. So we have Mr. Johnson here and Mr. Dutton, I believe, are going to be the speaker.
All right, thank you. A lot of good things going on in middle school. Obviously, this first year in the position. This family, we enjoy ourselves, trying to spotlight school, with school, better for not only staff, but students, families, welcoming people in. We have some of our seventh grade students here, and one of our seventh grade science teachers, Mr. Dudley, who came up with a project that was actually pretty interesting, that he let us come in and listen to the presentations of what the students had to bring in. And I'll let him share more detail about it, but just a great idea. So we're gonna start off with the seventh grade first, so Mr. Dudley.
So a few years ago, when Mr. Fissett showed up, one of the first things we walked around the school and he noticed there wasn't a lot of steps. So we brought in Project Lead the Way. We went and searched and found, we had visited some schools that had done it. So this first is part of our energy and environment Project Lead the Way unit that we're utilizing now. And we kind of enhanced it a little bit. So we had some seventh graders walk around the school and looking for opportunities for the school to conserve energy. And we found there's plenty of opportunities right here. So they're going to present to you tonight what they saw, some of their presentations, kind of unique, different presentations. One of them used a little AI, one of them used Canva, one of them used conventional Google Slides. So they're going to come up and share with you what they saw and their recommendations. That, Tom and Talia came in. It was great that, that administrators in the building got to hear, but I said, we can even have a better audience than this. So these are the people, kids that really make decisions that improve our schools. So, not that part. We have Jasmine and Sadie, that's the AA project, Alex Taylor presenting, and Lily Scarito took on a little project that's near and dear to my heart. So No further ado, you ready, ladies?
Okay, smart up.
All right, Jazzy and Sadie. You explain to them how you created this project?
So basically I use Notebook LM. It's like a really easy, site that you can use, and you can like take any like presentation and it basically just like, it makes it look way better.
Came out a lot better.
Yeah.
Ready?
Brilliant ideas are also the simplest. In this explainer, we're going to break down a really cool presentation from two students, Jazzy and Sadie. They spotted a super common problem and came up with a genuinely smart solution for saving energy. And it all kicks off with this phrase, cut the watts, not the learning. I mean, how good is that? It just perfectly captures the whole idea. Make a smart change that saves resources, but doesn't get in the way of what's really important. It's catchy, it's clear, and it really sets the stage for everything they're about to propose. So let's start where they did, right? With a really clear look at the issue they were seeing every single day at their school. And it really is that straightforward. The big problem is that lights in places like schools are just on all the time. Doesn't matter if people are in the room or not, that power is being drawn and energy is being used. We've all seen it, right? It's a classic case of waste that happens pretty much everywhere. Okay, so that's a fair question. You might be thinking, a few lights left on here and there, how big of a deal can it actually be? Well, it turns out when you scale that up across an entire school, day after day, week after week, that impact adds up, and it adds up fast. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it's not just one problem, it's three. First, the obvious one. It wastes a ton of electricity. Simple as that. Second, all that waste shows up right on the school's electricity bills, making them way higher than they need to be. And third, and this is the one you might not think about, it actually makes the light bulbs burn out way faster. That means more physical waste and more money spent on replacements. So when you define the problem that clearly, the path to a solution gets a whole lot easier to see. And the one Jazzy and Sadie came up with is both super clever and, luckily, already exists. And there it is. The solution is to switch everything over to motion-censored LED lights. See, it's a two-part fix, and it tackles every single angle of the problem they pointed out. It's not just about turning lights off automatically. It's also about using a much, much smarter kind of light to begin with. All right, so this is the crucial part. How does this one change make such a huge difference? Let's really break down the mechanics of how the savings work. Okay, so the first piece of the magic here is the motion sensor. It just completely automates the whole process. You no longer have to rely on the last person leaving a room to remember to hit the switch. The system just handles it, making sure power is only being used when it's actually needed. It totally takes human error out of the equation. But like I said, that automation part, that's only one piece of the puzzle. The type of light bulb you use is where the energy savings really get supercharged. And this number just says it all. According to their research, modern LED bulbs use only 20% of the energy that regular old school bulbs do. So even when the lights are on, they're running at just a fraction of the cost. I mean, think about that. That's a massive 80% reduction in energy use right there. So let's just put it all together, side by side. On the left, you've got the old way, lights that are always on, sucking up tons of energy and needing someone to flip a switch. And on the right, the new solution, lights that are on only when you need them, using 80% less energy when they are on, and are completely automatic. It's a no-brainer. It's a clear win in every single category. So, with the problem so clear and the solution so obviously better, Jazzy and Sadie's presentation gets to its final, most important part, actually making it happen. And they don't hold back at all. This is a direct, powerful call to action, aimed right at the people who can make the decision. They're asking teachers, principals, and administrators to make the investment. It's a plea for a real, practical change, and it's all backed up by a solid argument. And the reasoning is boiled down to two simple, powerful points. Why this? Because it's better for the school's impact on the environment, and in the long run, it's just plain cheaper. An 80% cut in lighting costs could mean thousands of dollars saved. Think about that. That's money that could go to new books, better computers, or all sorts of other things the school needs. It's an investment that literally pays for itself. And that really brings us to the end. Jazzy and Sadie's project is just a perfect example of how noticing a simple, everyday problem can lead to a really powerful solution. So it kind of leaves us with a final thought, right? What's the light left on in your world? What simple problem is right there in front of you, just waiting for its own bright idea?
Hey, good job.
Really, kind of, the layout is kind of new for education, so we've been kind of experimenting a little bit with it. Not quite sure, how we're gonna move forward with it, but it is pretty cool. I mean, and it's only as good as the information you give us, so the structure and the information was provided by Sadie and Jazzy, and it does a pretty good job of creating something pretty cool, so. Alex Hale. Alex likes Canva, and a Canva user. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Lisa, and I'm going to talk about how we can set our schools everything. So this presentation is made to show, what kind of stuff is being listed. And save that stuff, and use it for other things. So what's the problem? Well, energy is constantly being used a bit too much. An example of this is how people are leaving lights on in rooms without turning them on, which can cause the school to spend money on things that aren't being used. So how can we solve this? Well, one of the best ways we solve this is by using motion detecting light switches. When a person, sorry,
You're good.
when it detects that a person is in the room, the light will go off. But if it doesn't detect movement for a certain amount of time, the light will go on. With all these changes, we can use the leftover money and spend it on other things, such as education, lunches, field trips, and more.
Hey, good job.
The last one, I think Billy was the only one that took this on, it was kind of near and dear to my heart, issue that been haunting us at the middle school for quite some time, so Lily passionately took this on and she's gonna solve her problem.
Hi, I'm Lily, and this is, my project is on recycling at our school. Why it's not recycling the problem? It's not a problem, or it is a problem because the landfills are filling up fast and the disposal fees are costly along with, the recycling could reduce them by 36% and it creates environmental and financial concerns. Recycling is crucial because it reduces and preserves the natural resources and will make our impact on the environment. It also teaches students to be environmentally responsible, which could lead to fostering lifelong habits. My solution is to begin with recycling again, like we did with the paper I gave to us for that. We could start in the cafeteria with trash cans that are able to show students where to put what, and these trash cans can be in the same spots, so just be lined up with. These if we start small and if we start small with things like separate trash cans, it would spread to many other places. And then having recycling impact our school, it'll reduce our environmental footprint and also teach our students to recycle, which will then spread the reduction of not only the school's footprint, but also the people leaving the schools. It reduces landfill waste. It also saves energy and transportation, which will be good because they're not picking up as much trash. The food waste will not let off nearly as much of the harmful gases like the nitrogen dioxide and methane, which are affecting greenhouse gases. And this matters because I know we care so much about our wetland law. So why do we not care about other things that we want the rest of the? So we ask for your support, or we ask for you to consider this by using recycling containers in our cafeteria to help our school be more environmentally responsible. Would it be so much of a burden when it comes to our students, our school, and our planet?
Good job.
We got her, thanks for listening now.
But this is a great activity. The kids took a day, they walked around the school, they solved problems, and they were the ones who came up with the ideas to try to fix it. Couple other highlights that's going on for fifth grade. Fifth grade, very heavily tested in their Ohio State testing. Not only did they take English and language arts, but they also had a science part on there. The fifth grade teachers have done an excellent job walking the hallways, they have signs, using a lot of slang terms that you can relate to. Just saying, do a good job, take your time. They're doing a lot of activities in the classroom to prepare these kids for those two tests. When they already took the language arts test and walked around the rooms, the kids working hard. They're learning a lot, they did a nice job. In the social studies class, they did a Renaissance unit. Mrs. Steve did a cool activity. You can see this picture right here where, she had the kids get underneath the desks and she put blank notebook paper. Taped it to the bottom of the desk and they had to go in there and draw a picture like they were Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel. So it was kind of a cool little activity that they did, and then they got to dress up around. So just some different activities where they're just doing stuff differently that gets the kids motivated and enjoying school. Fifth grade STEM, May was the moon mission that just took place, but they had, they're throwing airplanes, but big airplanes, always a no-no in school, but here you see how far they can throw them, which is exciting, works fast. You can see that they're having a ball with that question today, and some of those things they can play with flying, look around, and they're pretty fun, they did a nice job. Sixth grade, January students, February students, March students of the month. They're doing a great job at the sixth grade. Rocks is another program. It's going well. Mrs. Durbin, Mrs. Gatto, they're still doing the self-defense thing. They're making these posters, they're talking about their strengths, and it's just a good group just to get together once a month and just, let the kids be kids and talk about their strengths, what they're doing well, what's going well in their life, and just great program overall. This weekend's had established come reach the class, where the Redfern grows, which I think is nice to see. Sometimes we get out of the habit of reading novels at school, and it's nice to take a break and have kids just read books with us. Bring guest readers in. Sixth grade science. Mr. Greathouse is her first year. She's a go with Mr. Shoemaker. She's doing a lot of fun activities where they're creating things, we're building models, they're using food to describe mitosis, meiosis. There's a lot of fun activities that she's promoting, really nice addition to our school. Mrs. Gatto's class, with math, obviously a tested subject. She's coming up with a lot of different activities where the kids get motivated to answer math questions. And sometimes it's easy as taking the bank questions and labeling easy, medium, hard, and letting the kids choose what problems they want to do. Even though sometimes the hard questions are just as easy as the easy ones, but it's that wording kind of builds those students' confidence when they're keeping those questions in the hard category, finding out that they get an answer, so it makes them be able to tackle all those problems. Mr. Ragland has a class with quadratic comment, which goes over all the concepts of quadratic comment. Here, she did an activity where they had to take paper, stack it up, make a tower. Okay, day before spring break, sixth grade, let's go bowling. It used to be the Apollo 3 bowling center over here in South Main. Took two different groups, kids had a ball. Eighth grade, we had a robotics team. They competed at Kent State. They finished second overall. Some of these schools are bringing. We go there as one team. Some of these schools are bringing 3 or 4 teams. So the competition is pretty high there. Penn State got handed, they were doing a really nice job. But the kids, they went up there to challenge, and even when something did work, they're able to go fix it. And I think that's the greatest part of it. When they go there, they try, their robot does not pick up the block or the bat. They have time to go back and reprogram it. So when it's time for competition, they're ready to go. Did a really nice job. One of the classes that we have, Mrs. Newsom's teaching, is career exploration. I think career exploration, even at 8th grade, I think it's something we wouldn't really need, but I think that's a good time to start teaching kids about different jobs and things to explore as they get older. And we had Robert Tanner as a park ranger. He actually reached out to us and said, "Hey, can I come speak to one of your classes?" So he came in, did a really great job, and even said, kids want to come down, put them in our cruise or what they call it, take them around the park. So really nice job. It's good to get other people involved. Student council, they had kindergarten carnival, the elementary, and our student council, so they stopped there to help out. Another thing Ms. Lucy did is she reached out to the Coventry Fire Department, and they brought in some people to teach our kids CPR. So it was a 3-day course where they came in 3 days, they brought in the dummies, the kids all got certified CPR. So just another outreach thing that, it's a skill these kids, I'm glad they're learning, and hopefully that maybe next year, every single 8th grader will go through this class and certified CPR. Mr. Baylog, obviously he's in our building, he reached out to maybe 7th and 8th grade students to be the students will help out. And I'm very happy that a lot of kids got to be part of this because the musical was great. There was so much hard work that went into it, but just let these middle schoolers be a part of this. Will help feed the program. Some of these middle schoolers even had speaking parts in the play. Some of them were just in charge of taking care of things in the back, but it got them the sense of belonging. Which I'm very thankful that he was good one to do so. Another elective is Mrs. Strubler is coming to teach 2 music classes. And we've reached out to the community for keyboards. And I think we have a total of 15 keyboards right now that were just given to us. So she's teaching kids how to keyboard that are not being required. So it's a great program. I do like it a lot because they're starting to learn music, to learn notes, and things that they would never pick up if they weren't being required. And finding out there's a success there because they're putting the headphones on, they're listening to play their music. And she's teaching them this stuff, and they really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to continue that, have more of a curriculum where this experience. And then upcoming events coming through, we have choir concert, April 30th, band concerts, our 8th grade formal, May 22nd. 8th grade is going to DC, May 18th to 20th, and then our 8th grade promotion is May 28th. And last day of school, which is so that's it. Any questions?
I just want to make a little comment about where the red fern grows. Last week or last month, I said the same thing. It's my favorite book like ever. And for the longest time, I would tell my son stories like I made them up. And they were all the stories about little Dan and little Ann from Where the Red Fern Grows until he went to 5th grade and he read the book and I got busted because he's like, hey, I know these stories. And it was all from that book. So this is just awesome that that's a whole new unit because it's such a good book.
Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. It's really good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for getting up here. I know it's hard to be brave, but you did a really, 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 really good job. Thank you.
They have to take the whole thing.
Those are all the items.
The doors are locked.
Yeah, you can stay if you'd like to stay, and if you'd like to leave, you are more than welcome. Say hi, Mike. No, I just want to see. And some are not home there. Yeah, fine.
Julia said this fun.
We're gonna have to continue our meeting, folks. Sorry, we're gonna continue our meeting, so. Thank you. I see.
Good job. Thanks for coming. Sorry.
Thanks, your job.
Oh, I'm afraid I missed.
You don't need to stay, I was talking. Oh, okay.
Are there any other district reports? for
That was
the
it for this month.
That was a perfect.
Oh, you were, yeah. Oh, very good.
Even,
Yeah.
so cool. Okay, I'm done.
Do we have any
I'm
citizen?
finished, too.
All right,
Our reporting.
so let's move into Board of Education comments, starting at my left, Dan.
Far left.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I enjoyed the seventh graders when they got up and how they started their thought process. You can tell them a lot of things, but them learning something takes them to take part in that. And I think it seemed like they got a lot done and a lot out of that. And I enjoyed the part where the robots, they did so well at Kent State. And they had the robots, but they had some problems, but again, they fixed those issues. And I think that's a good thought process for anybody to go through, and that's to try to recoup and get back on your feet. If there is a mistake or if there's some sort of an error that was made, how do you respond to that error and how you get on? And then a CPR from the fire department, kudos. And a shout out to the fire department for coming up and doing their deal with the kids and doing the CPR with those. And especially if they had that much hands-on with the kids in those mannequins. Okay.
First like to thank the opportunity to see another, be thankful for the opportunity to see another presentation from the school system. Seeing what the middle school is up to, we've seen some of the other school buildings as well, which is always good. The room was packed, as you pointed out, Mr. Fisk, which is nice to have. It'd be nice to have it more common, but that's okay. Life goes on. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have much. Definitely appreciated the presentation and the kids coming in. Definitely getting into busy season here for the district, so everybody buckle up. Attend as many events as you can, please. Yeah, that's it.
I just wanted to add what everyone else said about how nice the presentations were. I heard a lot of good things in addition to what I saw from the musical. They've done some top great things in the high school and the middle school. And just want to commend them on all their hard work. I mean, that's a lot of work and a lot of time commitment, but makes us proud.
Attended the musical as well, and it was so awesome to see so many kids on stage when 4 years ago there was no, they started with no program. So that was awesome. The middle schoolers, the high schoolers, and then the band that played were all alumni with a couple of older people there, which was really cool. And then the set was fantastic. Mrs. Schuler did a fantastic job with that. It's just so good. I just want to also give some encouragement to our spring sports that are happening right now, and keep everybody safe and keep the rain away so they can get all their games in. And also say that the Taste of Coventry is next Tuesday. It is at Lala's, gather at the lakes at Lala's. And it's $35 if you pre-order your ticket, or $40 at the door. And you can ask a school person to get you a ticket, or you can go online. All teachers and staff would have gotten an email about it. The Taste of Coventry is put on by the Coventry Schools Foundation, and they raise money for senior scholarships and also for teacher grants. And so many of the programs that we have that are maybe after school programs or within the school day are the Coventry Schools Foundation gives them money to help them with extra educational resources, like what are those bang things that Mrs. Glomo called? Boom whackers and ukuleles and music things and lots of stuff for the hydroponics program and Legos and just lots of things that directly go back to our school. So the money raised goes right back to our kids in the form of things that help them with their education. So everybody should go. Should be great. That's all I have.
Okay. Let's move into superintendent recommendations. George, I know we have quite a bit on the agenda, but it's like you said yesterday, mostly procedural, so.
April's our big month, so get comfortable and I'll read as clearly and as quickly as I can. Number one, certified personnel recommendations, continuing status. It's recommended the board grant a continuing contract to the following certified employees effective with the beginning of the 26-27 school year. And that's for Mr. Baylog and Mrs. Brown. Number two is non-renewal, non-CEA supplemental contracts. It's recommended the board non-renew the supplemental contracts which were in effect for the 25-26 school year for those individuals who are not part of the board CEA agreement per exhibit S1. And just a reminder, that's just a formality that we need to do every year. It doesn't reflect any sort of issue with any of those coaches. Number three, employment, casual day-to-day substitute teachers. It is recommended the board inform the substitute teachers that they have reasonable assurance of being reemployed if needed during the 26-27 school year. Number four, employment, certified one-year limited contracts. It's recommended the board employ the following teachers on one-year limited contracts for the 26-27 school year for exhibit S2, noting that teachers not shown on the list are already on continuing contracts and no action is required for those individuals. Number five, extended time supplemental contracts. It's recommended the board grant supplemental contracts for extended time to the following employees during the 2026 summer and the 2026-27 school year. That's 12.5 days for our guidance counselors, 8 days for our special service providers, 28 days for Mrs. Mackey, our speech language pathologist, who also covers any required evaluations at St. Francis. Technology, 10 days for Ms. Grabsky, and then 10 days for Mrs. Fallon, who takes care of all of our year-end credit recovery, our Apex program. She managed all of that for us to help our students that still need to get some credits done before the next school year or to reach their graduation requirements. And she takes care of all of that program. Number six, extended time supplemental contracts. It's recommended the board grant supplemental contracts for extended time to the following special service personnel for the 26-27 school year. These supplemental contracts will be paid through IDEA grant fiscal year 27. The rate is the hourly rates of the individual. These hours are to be used outside of their yearly contracted days. That's for Ms. Greathouse and Ms. Bukowski. Number seven, employment, summer school, get ready for school. It's recommended the board employ the following teachers as summer school 2026, get ready for school instructors. Number eight, employment, summer school elementary acclimation instructors. It's recommended the board employ the following teachers as summer school 2026 elementary acclimation instructors. Number nine, kindergarten screening. It's recommended the board employ the following teachers for the 2026 kindergarten screening process at Coventry Elementary. This is a state required program and the cost is covered using general funds. Number 10, employment, one-year limited contract. It's recommended the board approve a one-year limited contract for the 26-27 school year for the following individual contingent upon receipt of a clear record of required background checks and drug screening. This is in accordance with board CEA agreement and on the appropriate salary scale. And that's for Grace Porter, who will become our new Coventry Elementary School kindergarten teacher. Number 11, rescind spring coaching supplemental. It's recommended the board rescind the following coaching supplemental contract approved at the March 18th, 2026 Board of Education meeting. And that was for Mr. Purdo. And number 12, a supplemental contract related to that one for the 25-26. It's recommended the board grant and or reissue the following supplemental coaching contract for the 25-26 school year. Non-staff contracts are contingent upon receipt of a clear record of required background check. And that's Justice Stevens, recent Coventry graduate. Number 13 is job description. It's recommended the board approve the following revised job description for behavior specialist. The changes reflect the updated terms used in the state of Ohio operating standards, in addition to adding information related to Ohio's IMTSS model. We went down, got involved in this project as we were having success with our program at the elementary school and supporting our students that have behavioral challenges. And we wanted to also extend the good things that were working there to our middle school. So we reworked the job description to make sure that we have that continuity to help our students with special challenges. And those are all of the items under personnel certified.
Okay, is there a motion to discuss and consider items 1 through 13?
So moved.
Second. Any questions or discussion?
So the behavior specialist is not an additional employee.
No, that's Mr. Steiger and Mrs. Snook.
Okay,
Mr. Steiger at the elementary, Mrs. Snook at the middle school.
okay.
And they were involved in the creation and they should work on the program as well.
Anything else? All right, Lisa, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw,
Yes.
Mr. Sulick,
Yes.
Mrs. Pat,
Yes,
and Mr. Hostetler.
Yes.
And number two, personnel classified. Number one, temporary seasonal help. It's recommended the board employ the following individuals for temporary seasonal help positions effective 6/1/26. And those individuals are listed. As a reminder, this is a team of 6 people, and we approved Mr. Shoemaker to be part of this group last month. So that'll be our complete group for the summer. Number two, retirement resignation. It's recommended that the board accept the resignation due to the retirement of the following employee for the position indicated. And that's Mrs. Fitzpatrick, who's been with the district for a number of years, has worked magic as one of our classroom or our classroom assistants. She's been very active in a lot of things in the district, and we wish her nothing but the best in retirement. Change in hours, buildings, positions. It's recommended the board approve a change in the hours, buildings, and or positions for the following employees. That's Ms. Williams, effective 3/30/2026, to move from a 4.25-hour bus driver to a 5.25-hour bus driver. And that's related to changes in pickups and students that are riding her route. Number four, employment. It's recommended the board approve the following for positions indicated contingent upon receipt of a clear record of required background checks. Ms. Thomas as a 1-hour bus attendant, and Ms. Crawford as an 8-hour CES building secretary. And Mrs. Crawford will be the new secretary at the elementary, taking over Ms. Porter, who's retiring at the end of the year. Those are all of the items under personnel classified.
Thank you, George. Got a motion to discuss and consider the classified personnel recommendations.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
We have a lot of people retiring, which is sad. Can we get a whole list of everybody that retired? I'd like to maybe call them out in May. May is the last meeting.
Yes.
Call them out and I take.
Yeah.
All right, hearing nothing else, Lisa, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw.
Yes.
Mr. Sulick,
Yes.
Mrs. Pat,
yes,
and Mr. Hostetler.
Yes.
Item number three, other business recommendations. Number one, a contract, and the first three here are similar. Number one, contract Gardner Systems Service Solutions. It's recommended the board renew the 3-year contract with Gardner Systems Service Solutions for the HVAC preventative maintenance program at Coventry High School at an annual cost of $25,836, payable in quarterly amounts of $6,459 to be effective July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. Number two is a contract with Gardner System Service Solutions. It's recommended the board approve a 3-year contract with Gardner System Service Solutions for the HVAC preventive maintenance program at Coventry Middle School at an annual cost of $19,908, payable in quarterly amounts of $4,977 to be effective July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. Number three is a contract with Gardner System Service Solutions. It's recommended the board approve a 3-year contract with Gardner System Service Solutions for the HVAC preventative maintenance program at Coventry Elementary School at an annual cost of $12,276, payable in quarterly amounts of $3,069 to be effective July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. And Ms. Kendrick wanted me to also share with you that as part of the program of being in the preventative maintenance program, when we do have issues, we get a discounted savings on the parts to fix the equipment as well. Good. Number 4, contract ESY Kids First. It's recommended the board approve the contract with Summit ESC for ESY services at Kids First Transition Opportunity Program for students for the summer of 2026. The cost is $3,000 per student for 3 students for a total of $9,000 paid out of IDAB fiscal year 26 funds. And just a reminder, ESY stands for Extended School Year and is part of the student's IEP process. The team determines whether or not the student would have a regression of academics achievement over the summer, and if they do, then we provide services so they don't lose that over the 3 months of summer. Number 5, contract Wings of Change Therapy. It's recommended the board approve a contract with Wings of Change for the 26-27 school year. The total cost will be $70,040, billed in monthly installments of $5,836.67. The program covers the student's IEP intervention services related to services, vocational training, sensory regulation, behavior management, social education services, and ESY if determined necessary. And that would be for a resident student. Number 6 is contracts with KRG Educational Services, what we normally refer to as LEAP. It's recommended that the board approve the open contract for student placements with KRG Educational Services, Inc. The LEAP program for educational services for the 26-27 school year, 182 days, which expires on 5/28/27 at a per diem rate of $170 per day. And that's a program for students that have special behavioral issues that a more restrictive environment it allows them to be more successful. Number 7, contract with Groovy Garfoose LLC. It's recommended the board approve the contract with Groovy Garfoose LLC to provide music therapy to 3 of our special education classrooms for the 26-27 school year. This will include 31 days of direct services for $7,130 to be paid out of IDAB fiscal year 27 funds. And that was a program Mrs. Parker's class piloted 2 or 3 years ago. It really went over well in the initial pilot. And then all 3 of the buildings, the MD classrooms wanted to provide that musical therapy. If I could connect you with an opportunity to watch, it's fantastic to watch how the kids just embrace the music and how effective the therapy is. Number 8 are the contract with HBC. It's recommended the board approve a 3-year contract, healthcare processing consulting. A Revocit company, HBC coordinates and processes the district's Medicaid claims to the Ohio Department of Medicaid within the Ohio Medicaid School Program. HBC assists the district in procuring reimbursements for our services and complies with all Medicaid guidelines. This contract runs July 1st, 2026 to June 30, 2029. The yearly cost is $14,000 and paid quarterly from the general fund. Lisa could speak to the amounts better, but we get a massive return on that $14,000. They bring a lot of funds back to us, reimbursing up the services that we offer. Number 9, contract with LLA Therapy. It's recommended the board approve the contract for LLA Therapy. Services include physical and occupational therapy for students who have qualified for these services through assessments and are provided services through their IEPs. The speech rates are if needed for ESY service in the summer months. This is a 3-year contract and will be in effect for the duration of July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. And those rates are listed. Number 10 is a contract with Children's Medical Center of Akron. It's recommended the board approve the 3-year contract with Children's Medical Center of Akron for nursing services for the 26-27 school year through the 28-29 school year. Our current needs include 1 registered nurse for the district and 3 medical assistants. The contract includes the additional services of family living class, CPR, AED for up to 6 people trained, and first aid course for up to 8 people trained. And those rates are listed based on our registered nurse and our medical assistants. Number 11, agreement, College Credit Plus. It's recommended the board approve the agreement with Altman College to provide College Credit Plus courses to eligible Coventry local school students. Number 12, contract with Bedford Reinforced Plastics. It's recommended that the board approve the contract from Bedford Reinforced Plastics for the replacement of the concrete bridge that spans the creek between Coventry High School and the track area at a cost of $57,030. Noting that the existing bridge will be lifted and moved by Luco Crane and was broken up and hauled away by the Barbicas company. And I shared with you the picture of what the bridge should look like. And Mr. Olson told me today that they're planning to start the project in October after the football season's over. If the marching band would need to practice for a competition that they may have, they'll use the stadium football field for the practices, since they won't be able to get to the practice field. Number 13, contracts, Raptor Technologies, Public School Works. It's recommended the board approve the contract from Raptor Technologies, known as Public School Works, for a staff training portal from July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029, at a first year cost of $3,089.96. In years 2 and 3 at a cost of $2,212.16 annually. This came out of, as you know, we have a number of cybersecurity mandates to comply with. And we found that our current staff portal for trainings was a little lacking in those areas, as well as this program has more tools to help us encourage staff to get it done if they're falling behind in their required trainings. Number 14 is a contract with Neonet. Is recommended the board approve the contract with Neonet for an EMIS shared services agreement from 5/1/2026 to June 30th, 2026 at a cost of $3,400. And this is just to provide support when the employees that handle the EMIS may be absent. Number 15, curriculum adoption. It's recommended the board approve the following curriculum adoption for Coventry High School for the 26-27 school year. That's history, McGraw-Hill, a 6-year adoption of 2026 through 2032. United States history and world history materials to include student and teacher textbooks, online materials, professional development, and shipping and handling at a total cost of $39,896.40. And also math, McGraw-Hill, 6-year adoption, 2026 to 2032, Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 materials to include student and teacher textbooks, online materials, professional development, shipping and handling at a total cost of $59,233.33. And just noting that math, we've been on this cycle. It seems like forever, but it's been about 2 years. We spent last year working with a consultant from the Summit ESC, working with our teachers on new instructional strategies. And then this year we focused on providing them the most up-to-date curriculum that we could to help our students exceed and meet their potential. Number 16, student insurance. It's recommended the board permit Guarantee Trust Life Insurance Company to offer student insurance for the 2026-27 school year. We've offered this insurance for several years. This is an optional program at no cost to the district. An exciting one here, number 17, our graduating class. It's recommended the board approve the graduating seniors for 2025, provided each student completes the necessary graduation requirements for Exhibit S4. And number 18, our DARE resolution. It's recommended the board adopt the resolution to support of the DARE program for the 26-27 school year for Exhibit S5. Number 19, deletion of inventory from the curriculum department. It's recommended the board approve the following deletion of inventory from the curriculum department. And those are a number of old, no longer in use textbooks. Number 20 is accept a donation. It's recommended the board accept the following donations. The first one is the science tables were shared with us from Woodridge Schools. They're going through a major renovation of their science wing. And they had some tables that they had no use for. And, you know, they were in pretty decent shape. So we're grateful for them for donating those to us and allowing us to use those. Considering when we priced brand new tables, they're roughly $900 a piece. And we got over 30 of them donated from Woodridge. So we're very grateful for them sharing. And also then for the second one there, $131 donated by the Coventry American Legion Post to help offset student food service accounts with negative balances at CES. So the students that had to charge lunches for various reasons, the American Legion is covering those. And that's always, I feel good. We're happy that they are and grateful for their support of that. Number 21, accept donation, band uniform. It's recommended the board accept the following donations of band uniforms for the Coventry Band Parents Association for Exhibit S6. And I think I shared that with you last Friday, and I incorrectly shared the hats are here. It's the raincoats and the hat boxes that have not arrived yet. But the uniforms and their hats are here. Number 22, football out-of-state summer camp. It's recommended the board approve the following trip at no cost to the district. And the entire trip is funded by funds raised from the sale of discount cards and a $35 donation from each family. And that would be for the football team to travel to Gettysburg College from July 6th through the 9th. We had discussed possibilities of, while the students were there, potentially taking them to visit some sites in Philadelphia. Or possibly Washington DC is only about a half hour, 40 minutes away. But when we thought about Philadelphia was a bit far for the regulations related to our bus trips. And Washington DC, that would be just a few days after our 250th celebration. And I wasn't comfortable with our school buses driving around Washington DC with that much of a celebration going on. And those are all of the items under other business.
That's it. You don't want to read 5 more pages? You did a great job.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. Okay. You guys have to have questions and all that stuff.
I have one. George, for number 17, should that be 2026?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it should be 2026. I even read it wrong. It didn't. Thanks for getting that.
correct.
So yes, number 17 should be our 2026 graduates, not last year's graduates. So we have to make it. Thank you.
Couple of questions, if I may, please.
Yes.
So for items 1, 2, and 3, which is the Gardner contracts, if I read the wording, it seems that they were already here for which was the first one, the high school. And then they're expanding to the middle school and elementary. Is that a correct understanding of the wording?
Yes, the issue we got into the service programs is when we had the failure of the middle school chiller. 2021, 22-ish, seems like forever ago, but it was just a few years ago. And we learned that we just needed to do a better job of taking care of those. We've also started doing water treatment programs for the fluid that goes through the units here at the middle school or at the high school and the middle school, as it becomes very corrosive if you don't keep up on it, rots out the inside of the pumps. So while it's a tremendous expense, we thought at this point, after the district not being able to afford preventative maintenance for so long, that we wanted to try to get back into preventing some big bills down the road. So that was the thought process.
So the expansion to middle and elementary is Gardner winning the work from a competitor, or that work wasn't even being done by someone like Gardner?
In terms
Gardner
of,
has been doing the preventative work, but
For-
it's not new. They've been in place since.
the chiller issue.
I think so,
That was
but
the year.
we did not have preventative maintenance prior to.
Okay. And, all right, so, because the way I've read it before was that, or understood it was Gardner was at the high school, maybe there were 2 other vendors at the
Oh.
2 different buildings, and then, so now Gardner got it all. Does that mean, did that equate to a price savings? For a lump sum?
Yeah.
Concept, that was the reason for the questions.
I misunderstood. I
No,
apologize.
no, that's okay, that's okay. I recognize that our photographs are samples,
Yes.
right? They're go-bys of what could happen. I was kind of curious with the position of the current bridge at the creek. Do the holes in the fiberglass planking provide opportunity for bees to come and hang out and cause possible issues? And would our final design actually have covering, like maybe a channel concept to cover those up to protect the community and the students?
I don't believe we've thought of that issue,
Okay,
but I'll bring that across, I'll run that past Mr. Olson.
okay,
This is something to keep an eye on. One thing I didn't share is we do have to reinforce the footings at each side of the bridge. As this one's a little heavier. And when they came out and looked, and it's incorporated into the cost that the footings will have to be beefed up a little bit.
one more if I could, please. On number 14, the neonet, where you have the $3,400 covering roughly 2 months. Is that money that has been paid or money set aside that if something comes up, we would have an envelope to pay out of?
We would have to pay that as part of a purchasing agreement with them.
At the start, on May 1.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions?
But the teacher's happy about the adoption of the history and the math.
I know math is because they worked on it for so long. And history, it didn't take them very long to decide. They went through the process pretty quickly. And that was the departments that Mrs. shared, was Mr. Shen's, consultant from the ESC and the departments working together, going through the materials and deciding what they thought was best.
I'm super excited about the graduating class of 2026. Good job, almost.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for the donations. Those science tables were huge from Woodridge. It's nice to see school districts helping each other out.
Yeah.
I believe we had some staff help move them in and set them up, right? Who all was involved in that?
It was, Mr. Johnson, myself, Mr. Olson, Ms. Pavlovich, and a bunch of staff from Woodridge. We loaded them onto the U-Haul. And then when we got here, then all of our custodial team helped get them out, as each table weighed roughly 80 to 90 pounds. So we were all hurting the next day.
Thank you to everybody for helping out with that, and thanks to the American Legion Post for the donation for school lunches. That's cool. Anything else?
This is the first time the football team's done anything like the summer camp, right?
It's since during my time. Prior to me, I'm not sure if they
I
did.
don't remember them ever doing anything like that, so that's
If you
pretty
watch the
exciting.
movie, Remember the Titans, it's gonna be very similar as that team went to Gettysburg College. So we've joked about that ever since.
Hope they get to meet Denzel.
And have the same successful season that that team had and everything.
That would just be helmets. Or are they gonna take full?
I'm not sure if it's helmet and shoulder
not
pads or
season?
if it's just helmets.
Yeah.
But there shouldn't be
They
any
get
big that time of
conditioning.
year,
They'll call it conditioning,
conditioning and team building.
That'll be fun.
because they can't wear.
All right, Lisa, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw,
Yes,
Mr. Sulik,
Yes.
Mrs. Pat,
Yes,
and Mr. Hostetler.
Yes.
And we have item number 4, which is a central office item. It's a stipend. It's recommended the board approve a stipend for the work indicated. That would be for Mrs. Ratcliffe for $5,000 to continue as our transportation clerical and supervisory support. As a reminder, we started that this year, and this would be for next year. When it looked like Mrs. Smith could potentially miss, our transportation director, Mrs. Smith, could potentially miss a number of days, potentially weeks. We had no one that really could step into her role and had her knowledge. So she's spent this year teaching Miss Ratcliffe how everything works. And thankfully, at this point, we haven't had any unexpected absences, but Mrs. Ratcliffe has continued to support Mrs. Smith in her clinical needs. Those are all of the items under central office.
Good. I will make that motion to approve that. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions, discussion?
that should probably say 2026, 27, and then does it say what year it is?
It would be for the 26-27 school year, for minutes.
Yeah, it just doesn't say it on there.
Yeah, that's a good catch, thank you.
All right, Lisa, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw,
Yes.
Mr. Sulik,
Yes.
Mrs. Pat,
yes,
and Mr. Hostetler.
Yes.
Under the treasurer's recommendations this evening, we have item number 1. It is recommended that the board approve and place on file the March 2026 financial report. Please cross out and reconciliation, as that is still an ongoing review. So we just have the financial report per exhibit T1. Item 2, it is recommended that the board approve the POs over 5,000 per exhibit T2. Item 3, it is recommended that the board approve the resolution to establish Fund 029, accepting gifts into such funds and appointing a scholarship committee to administer such funds as outlined in Exhibit T3. Item 4. It is recommended that the board approve the memorandum of agreement with Zupka and Associates, an independent public accounting firm. Whereas the Auditor of State on March 11th, 2026 issued a request for proposals for a terms of engagement related to the Coventry Local School District to perform the financial audits, including the components and requirements pursuant to sections 117.11 and 117.115 of the revised code for the fiscal periods starting July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2030 for Exhibit T4. And just to remind you, the fiscal audits are they are auditing the books from the prior year, which is why there's a back there. Item 5, it is recommended that the board accept the resignation due to retirement of Shannon Demita, Director of Fiscal Systems, effective December 16th, 2026. And item 7, it is recommended that the board approve the revised job description for the position of financial assistant per Exhibit T5. And that is an updated job description that was previously approved by the board based on the retirement of our accounts payable. Or Director of Fiscal Service. And that concludes items 1 through 6.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Will second. All right, discussion?
I just wanted to thank Shannon Demita for all of her work for many, many years here in the district. She's just, I'm sure there's many, many things she does that we don't know that she does, but I just wanted to thank her for all that she's doing. And then give good luck to the person that's gonna fill this role eventually. Thank you. We need to add her on the list. Well, I don't know if we add her on the list yet.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. She's got big shoes to fill. Appreciate all the hard work she's done here. We have her for a little while longer, which is nice, but yeah, just wish her the best in retirement.
How many years have she had here?
By the time she retires, I believe it'll be 30.
30.
And she's had a lot of different jobs as well. She was a teacher and I don't know what else she did.
She's one of those, so. She's one of those. You gotta have
Gotta have it.
those people that step in. Do what she's gotta do.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, Lisa, could you call the roll, please?
Sure. Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw,
Yes.
Mr. Sulik,
Yes.
Mrs. Pat,
Yes.
and Mr. Hostetler.
Yes. All right, we do have a Board of Education recommendation this evening. Recommendation 1 for the resolution, National Institute of Standards and Cybersecurity Framework. It is recommended that the board approve the resolution adopting NIST cybersecurity framework in accordance with House Bill 96. You'll find Exhibit B1. I believe this was also in Georgia's board update sent out last week, or just a summary of it, so. That's the only thing on the agenda there. Is there a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Comments? Lisa, call the roll, please.
Mr. Bowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw,
Yes.
Mr. Sulik,
Yes.
Mrs. Pat,
Yes.
and Mr. Hostetler.
Yes. Right, I am going to make a motion to go into executive session for. On the one. preparing for conducting reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with employees. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay,
Mr. Cowser,
Yes.
Mrs. McGraw,
Yes.
Mr. Schuler,
Yes.
Ms. Cass,
Yes,
and Mr. Hostetler.
yes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Drive safely.
Great job.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we do expect to take action afterwards. So hopefully it won't take too long, but just an update, and Lisa and George, if you could hang out here, and if we have any questions, we'll call you in.
Okay, that's great.
Thanks.
So this wasn't the zip chapter. This is
No.
just the. That's what it's gonna look like, yeah, because it looks like it's just, like I said, two culvert tiles.
Should I
and
mention?
Start a little slag and you're done.
Yeah, I see.
And like that. So we get big issues.